Hey, little boy.
What?
Did you not eat lunch?
Yeah, I forgot to eat lunch, but I'm still having fun at the
So this weekend was all about finishing projects. 2 years ago, my parents came down and we built the play set for the kids, and now they're down again. So we finished the rock climbing wall, which both of the kids had successfully easily climbed. The original wall was only for the opening right up here. So I decided, well, I'm gonna just make it go all the way across, and then later I will buy more rock holds and stuff and then just put them on the wall, and then they can just climb off to the side and up, and however they want to do it. Other things. This is the bird feeder. I bought my wife an anniversary on the copper anniversary, copper top. She's always wanted one, so I bought her it. Hadn't had a chance to put a pole up. Got the pole up. We went to the Home Depot, and the aisle that was next to the aisle with all the cement and everything, the fire alarm was going off and the sprinkler was coming down, and so we didn't get any cement, but red clay, that's like all the way down there. Dug straight down, almost 2 feet. Nothing but red clay after the first inch. And it's a sticky, when you get it wet, because I poured water down there to help loosen it up. When you get it wet, it's just a sticky mess of a red clay. That's one of the most endearing things about North Carolina. Yeah, over in the back garden, yeah, he's barely hanging on in there. We've had a hot entire week of 90+ degree weather, and today's been, I think, the hottest at 97 degrees. Corn is still doing okay. Pool is out, obviously. Over here on the side, on the grilling deck, raspberries turning red. I've already sampled the ones that have been ripe. That one will be sampled tomorrow. There's a couple back there. Bush beans still growing. Strawberries still growing and flowering, even though I've yet to get a strawberry out of here. And did that. Try this again. This box is something I created a long time ago for something I was using indoor. So I tried to make it a little more weatherproof on the outside. Replaced the bottom with this crate stuff that all the play set wood came in on. And so what we've done is take in this plastic here, which is a 3.5 milliliter plastic. It's like usually use it for garden plastic, use a thicker version. And I've gently pushed it in. And then instead of using staples, I've screwed a board on the outside to the inside board all around. And then next, bought these 12-foot 4-inch pipes. They've got holes in them, and they'll stretch out for 12 foot around. I'm gonna put those, and then I have some burlap Now this is probably not the best thing, it probably won't last forever, but I think basically once it gets started, and I'm not gonna worry too much about dirt getting into this. I don't think dirt's gonna get much in here and plug it up as much in general. So that's gonna go in there. And then I got a bunch of dirt and some perlite, and that's gonna go on top, and then the plants. Now what I'm gonna do next is, most people when they do their watering, self-watering thing, they put a PVC tube down inside and then has like a little thing to fill it up. So what I'm gonna do, instead of like screwing into the side of the plastic here, I'm going to drill a hole here, a 1-inch hole, and I have an old hose, and I'm going to stick the hose through there so that this plate right here will hold up the hose, and then I'll just connect the hose here to fill it up when I need to fill it up. And that's basically what I'm going to do next. And then I'm going to build, kind of round it off, and I got some more scrap piece. I just want to point out that, so this is like almost so far everything that, except for the plastic obviously, in these new parts, all the wood and everything is scrap. The play set wood, this is scrap from the play set. So that's what I'm gonna do. Now I've built a shelf, which through trial and error, and a lot of error here, basically got a shelf, and it's covering most of the edge of the plastic. And then here, like I said, I drilled a 1-inch hole, put the hose in. I cut the whole hose off and stuck it in the tube, and then I'm going to take the second one of these tubes and complete filling this in. These connect, the ends connect into each other, they kind of lock in. I also put little support things on the corner, drilled them in, just to give it a little more support at the top. My only really concern is the dirt at the top, kind of bowing it out. Hopefully it doesn't do it, but for now we got, the plastics in there good. Got a little bunch of staples down here. We don't have any holes from holding a PVC pipe that other people have. And we got the edge covered up, so we can just fill it all the way up to the dirt, all the way up when I get to that point. So now I'm going to finish getting this in here, and then on to the next step. Okay, so I cut out a piece of the this fabric about twice as long. The open end on this end, I wrapped that just wrapped it around, folded it over, wrapped around the whole thing, so it should be all covered. I'll also make sure that where the hose goes in, I'm going to make sure that's also covered in as much as possible. I might even real quickly just slit a hole, put the hose through, and then wrap it in again. So after this, I'm going to put some leaves on, and then this mound of dirt and perlite goes on. Alright, so I got a nice cover of leaves in here, and what I'm going to do now is, I don't have a big enough barrel to mix everything, so I'm going to put one full bag of this Kellogg's raised bed potting mix in, and then I'm going to put a layer of perlite on, and then I can put the next bag in, and I'm going to mix that together and then continue to do that as I fill up the top. So try to get as much good amount of perlite in there to help keep the water retention. So that's after 4 bags of raised bed potting soil, I finished it off with a leftover bag of a Miracle-Gro that I used the new seeds I planted. We are hooked up to the hose, and we'll turn it on for a few minutes. Well, I hear water coming out. Don't see any water leaking yet, so I guess that's a good sign. So here's my scrap wood raised garden bed. It gets morning sun and half sun during the evening because of all my trees. So the tower garden's going okay. We got some bigger leaves here on the lower levels. I think the top levels are probably getting burnt too much by all the heat. Raspberries back here, starting to look like they're going to have some things to sample. Big old leaves from that grapevine. Nothing on the blueberry tree. Maybe next year. So maybe later tonight, maybe I'll get this into the video, we'll transplant stuff here. Even the front raspberries, showing some samplers. Still have some flowers blooming up front. In fact, the orange ones are doing a heck of a job. Getting a lot more than we did last year, definitely. Leaves are getting big on the cucumbers, and so we got to make some room, figure out what we're going to do. Get some tomato plants out of there. I believe that's the cantaloupe. Rhubarb is popping up real good. Still no peppers. Peppers don't like me. I love to eat peppers. Maybe that's where they're hiding. And we got that guy down there. And that's it. I watch, there's a guy that lives near me. He has a channel, YouTube channel called Bubble Beat. And his tomatoes are huge. Everything in his garden is huge. He's the master. That's where I want to be with it, like his garden. His container garden is huge. So after the sun went down, I went out front and I carefully separated some tomatoes, extra tomato plants, and took one of the cantaloupe plants. I took one of the cucumbers because it was crowded in the carrots. The strawberry plant that I was growing in the inside and brought outside, and then my other rhubarb plant, which my parents tell me will take up this entire thing by next year, which I'm okay with that. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully it'll stay moist and survive the heat waves we have here.